Bayou Bingo Fantasy Network, where you'll find everything fantasy football. From rankings, sleepers, breakouts, and everything in between, we've got you covered.
Ready? And here we go!
Every episode is one step closer to you winning a championship. If your goal is to win, you're in the right place. Here's your host, Troy Lofton, right here on the Bayou Bingo Fantasy Network.
Welcome to the NFL. Let's go! Let's go!
Go! Week one. I'm excited. This is gonna be exciting. Woo! Week one, we are here. I've got the games up there, news and stuff going on down. We've got a lot of things going on. A ton of things going on today. We're diving into so much. We're going to dive into, at the very beginning, we'll go over the drafters, top 1,000 in the community. If you're in the top 1,000 currently right now, we'll do that every Sunday morning. We'll kind of break down, what we're going to do in that $15 drafters and see where you guys are ranked and give you guys shout outs for that. We're going to go over every single game for this Sunday and probably Monday as well. Kind of break down what you guys want to see, any kind of fantasy relevant players you guys want to see. I'm gonna give you guys my top rankings, and these are my rankings that I came out before the Thursday and the Friday game. So we'll see how we did on that. Not too shabby. I know we probably whiffed, and I think everybody probably whiffed on the Mark Andrews. Likely was better than Andrews. Now I knew he was gonna be more involved in the offense, but we didn't know that Andrews was gonna be cock-a-doodle, right? So we got a lot to go over. The very first thing though I want to go over with you guys is the top 1,000 for drafters. For currently right now, this is after the Thursday games and after the Friday games, and as we see, we got Angry Elf here. He has the best position, is at 22. He actually has three of his entries in the top 1,000 is Angry Elf. We got Bear Fan Pete at number 36 is his best entry right there. We got Huron River Rat, which is Jason. He's at 113. My best one right now, I have 3 in the top 1,000. My best is at 160. We got Latumsky there. He's at the best is 198, but he's also got 3 in the top 1,000. And then we have Carl Ramrod. He's at 404 is his best there. We have Stat ATL at 419. And we've got our guy Big Disco Energy. He's got 2 in the top 1,000. His best is at 555. But guys, that is our top 1,000. We've got quite a few in the community in the top 1,000 after 2 games. We have a long season to go, but I want to make sure we kind of keep this updated every single week. That way we can kind of best help you guys see, hey, who's doing well? Who's in the top 1,000? We want to be able to cheer for everybody in the community, and that way we're all kind of on the same page. You know what I'm talking about? So without further ado, I think we need to go ahead. Let's just start diving into some of these games. We have a lot of games to get into. And if we get through the games and we get through our rankings, depending on what time it is, we may even do some drafts as well. We'll have to see. It's all good. We'll see what happens. But let's just go over the first game, right? The first game we're talking about is going to be the Steelers, and we're going to be the Falcons. So there's some things that are happening right now with the Steelers side. Right now, Russell Wilson was deemed the starter, ready to go. Now we don't know what's going to happen. We've got an injury. Is he going to go? He wants to test it out pregame, but from what we understand, the Steelers fully expect Justin Fields to be the starter week 1. Russell Wilson wants to play, but we don't know if the Steelers want to keep a little bit of a, hey, let's just see what happens. Let's kind of play it safe. We don't have to push Russell Wilson out there. Let's see what we have in Justin Fields. Who knows what's going to happen? I know Russell Wilson is going to want to play. He wants to push it out there. I know a lot of you guys were taking Justin Fields really, really late, hoping something like this could happen. If Justin Fields comes in week 1 and plays phenomenal, boy, there's going to be a quarterback controversy in Pittsburgh. We're going to have to just wait and see what happens. Either way it goes, you're going to have to wait and see till game time. It's going to be really close to find out who is going to be, inserted into the starter. I don't know if we're going to get that news breaking before the show is over, but if it does, I will be sure to try to update you guys as we kind of go. Najee Harris, Jaylen Warren. This is something that I want to talk about a little bit. I think people are sleeping on Najee Harris just a little bit. Jaylen Warren definitely can work out of the backfield, definitely be good in PPR situations, but Jaylen Warren is coming back from injury. Yes, he's deemed he was healthy. He's full participate in practice. I get it. But Najee Harris is the true bell cow on this team. And while Warren does run really well, I like the way he runs. I just think in a contract year, Najee Warren is going to run like a madman. He's going to kind of run like shades of Isaiah Pacheco out there and really try to push himself to the next level to really mean that, you know, hey, I'm here to stay. Yo, no cap, good to see you, man. Good morning, my friend. Welcome, dude. We are rocking and rolling, man. We are going through a lot of these games. We just went over the top 1,000. I'll probably hit up the 1,000 here shortly again, kind of like a midway kind of breaker, just to show you guys and all the new people that are coming in, who's in the top 1,000, that big old drafters $15 tournament. But let's move right along here. Keep talking about these wide receivers. George Pickens is the one wide receiver I really want to talk about here. I'm not worried about the Van Jeffersons and things like that. I think that if you're going to the wide receiver position at the Steelers, you've got to be looking at George Pickens. The way that he has some spectacular catches. I'm telling you, there's not many players in the NFL that I'm like, you know what, it's just flat out fun to watch George Pickens play. And I think that today against the Falcons, he can have himself a day. Yes, they have good secondary. But look, doesn't matter. George Pickens, no matter who the quarterback's going to be, even if Justin Fields gets in there, he's going to launch the football and hope he's going to have opportunity. And opportunity is what you need in fantasy football. George Pickens could be a solid play. And like I've been kind of beating the drum all year long, or all off season long, for Pat Freiermuth in this tight end position, I think they're going to utilize the tight end position quite well. It's pretty fun that Arthur Smith was the head coach of the Falcons, and the very first game he gets in, your second in command is on deck as well. How did you get in here? Are you going through, like, do you have internet yet? Let me know if you got internet, Tyler. Let me know if you got internet, man. Or if you're just watching on your phone stuff. But yeah, man, I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you guys being here, smashing the like button for me. I really appreciate that. But I think Pat Freiermuth gets himself into the mix quite a bit. Especially with some injuries to Roman Wilson as well. I think Pat Freiermuth could be having a nice solid fantasy opportunity. If you're kind of streaming tight ends and you didn't get one of those tier tight ends, I think Pat Freiermuth could be pretty good for you today. So let's move right along here to the Falcons. And this is a team that everybody's really looking forward to. You're on your phone? I got you, man. It blows, man. I can't believe I'll be watching all the games by myself today. Oh, drive to your dad's house. But everybody's looking forward to the Falcons. Everybody's looking forward to seeing what's going to happen with this offense. Is it going to be prolific? Are we going to go out there? People are even starting to talk about Super Bowl contention Falcons. I say pump your brakes a little bit. The defense ain't that good to go win no Super Bowl. That's just my opinion, though. So, Kirk Cousins. Is he healthy back from his injury? We're going to have to wait and see. He can sling the ball all over the field. You know he could throw up 300 yards like it ain't no tomorrow. I like Kirk Cousins. I think he can do it. He's got weapons. Whether we're going to talk about Bijan Robinson, Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Darnell Mooney. There's a lot of options out there. But I think Kirk Cousins could be a solid quarterback option, especially if you waited late on quarterback. You just streaming quarterback. Kirk Cousins has a good solid matchup, I believe, against the Pittsburgh Steelers, just because the Steelers defense is really good. They're not going to be able to sit there and I think run the ball against this team. I think Bijan Robinson may struggle just slightly, possibly, but I think it's just going to be the workload in the passing game that's going to launch Bijan Robinson as a solid fantasy producer this week. So talking about Bijan Robinson, I like him. He's one of my top running backs for the week. I think he's going to work a lot in the passing game, a ton in the passing game. Don't forget about Ray McLeod. Listen, one thing about this show, I'm not going to put on names that I ain't looking forward to, right? If I don't think they're going to be fantasy relevant whatsoever, I ain't adding them. And Ray McLeod, while he might receive one pass catch, no, I'm good. I don't think Ray McLeod's going to go out there and win nobody in the weeks. You know what I mean? But yeah, Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier, they're saying that Tyler Algier is going to be more involved into this game. We're going to have to wait and see. I don't know what's going to happen with him. I don't know if they're going to really work him in or if it was all fluff and it's going to be all Bijan Robinson. I'm curious to see what's going to happen in this game. And I think that Bijan Robinson is really going to take the role and he's going to be the man. Talk about receiving options here. Drake London, Darnell Mooney. I think both of these guys are very, very fantasy reliable for this week and weeks to come, right? Drake London should get himself 1,000 yards receiving. Should be really, really easy. And Darnell Mooney, the guy that a lot of people are probably sleeping on, is going to be fantasy relevant, period. We got to remember, just a few years ago, he was the number one wide receiver for the Bears, right? So now they have a quarterback there. And look what Kirk Cousins did with Jordan Addison. Not saying that Darnell Mooney is Jordan Addison, but he can put up Jordan Addison-like numbers, right? So I think he's still a good fantasy relevant asset. I like both of these guys this week as well. And then Kyle Pitts. What do we get out of Kyle Pitts, right? There's a lot of things that people saying, this is Kyle Pitts' year. This is Kyle Pitts' year. Is it though? We got to wait and see. Is Kyle Pitts gonna launch himself? Could be a good fantasy day though if he becomes what we all think he could do. He's not only going to play at the tight end position, he's also going to play as outside as a wide receiver as well. So he should have a lot of opportunities to catch the football. I'm really excited to see this game and see what happens. So that was a good matchup, right? That was a good first game, the preview of the year. Let's move on to the next guy, right? We're going over the Cardinals, and we're going over with the Buffalo Bills, right? This should be another good matchup. There's a lot of pieces, a lot of things, a lot of question marks that we're looking forward to. Let's kind of go over right now, right? Let's start over here with the Cardinals. They're going to be playing these Buffalo Bills. There's going to be opportunities there for them to score. I think Kyler Murray is going to take the reins of this offense. He's going to be able to sling the ball all over the field, right? We're going to see they got newly acquired Marvin Harrison Jr., highly touted wide receiver out of Ohio State. He should be able to run and throw all over the place to Marvin Harrison Jr. and Trey McBride. It's going to be great, right? So I think Kyler Murray is going to hit his prop. He's going to need his talent for them to try to win this football game. He can't do it with anybody else. It's going to be solely based on how Kyler Murray plays, and I think he can do quite well with that. So, but looking at the running back position, right? We have James Conner, we have Trey Benson, but everything from this coaching staff has stated this is James Conner's team. This isn't a 1A, 1B type of situation. It's not a split backfield. This is James Conner's backfield. So, barring an injury, which we all know James Conner, sooner or later, God forbid, but he might get injured, then it'll be some more of Trey Benson. But other than that, I think James Conner, this is his show. This is his ride. Going against the Buffalo Bills, I think he'll be okay. I think just the volume of opportunity is going to make him fantasy relevant enough for you to get some fantasy football points. So looking here at the wide receiver position, we already kind of mentioned it. We're talking about Marvin Harrison Jr., right? Marvin Harrison Jr. is the main guy that I'm looking forward to. Yeah, we have our Greg Dortches. We've got our Michael Wilsons. Yes, I understand they could do a little bit of something, but we're not really looking forward to them. We're looking forward to Marvin Harrison Jr. seeing what he can do, right? Not only him, but Trey McBride as well. Came out last year and really kind of showed out right after Zach Ertz was leaving. Trey McBride got to show that he was a good fantasy tight end. I think he's going to have a good week this week against the Buffalo Bills as well. So moving right along here to the Buffalo Bills, what do we find in this offense, right? A lot of things have changed in the offseason. Josh Allen's going to have to put a lot on himself, his arm, and his legs to make this Buffalo Bills team click. There's a lot of new weapons there. No more Gabe Davis, no more Stephon Diggs. So there's a lot of things we have to be looking at for this, right? So Josh Allen, he's a top-end flight fantasy quarterback. He's going to get it done. He has such a high floor because of his rushing ability alone. So if you have Josh Allen, it's a set it, forget it. You're not even debating on whether or not you should ever bench Josh Allen. I think he has a good game here against the Cardinals. There's nobody on the Cardinals team that's going to be able to stop Josh Allen doing whatever he wants to do. That's why I was saying I think Kyler Murray, it's going to have to be on his arms and legs if the Cardinals want to win, because Josh Allen, that's offense, is going to be clicking on all cylinders. It doesn't matter who he's got on the outside. He's just going to run the ball all over everybody. So he's going to score plenty and plenty of fantasy points. Coming here at the running back position, James Cook, Ray Davis, right? James Cook, we know what he is. He's a really good running back. He can pass catch. He can run the football. But the question that I have, why I have Ray Davis here, he was a running back out of University of Kentucky. He's really good. He could be a 3-down back himself. I really had a high draft grade on him coming out of college. Does he take the goal line carries away? That's the question that I want to see. If we start seeing some of these touchdowns taken away from James Cook, this could be a problem. This could be a problem for fantasy football, but I'm curious to see what these two guys do, what kind of activity these guys are going to have. I'm excited to see about that. Wide receiver position, like I said before, Gabe Davis is gone, Stephon Diggs is gone. In comes Curtis Samuel, Keon Coleman, right? We still have Khalil Shakir there as well. Who's going to be the props? Well, I think Curtis Samuel will be the number one. Keon Coleman will get a lot of his catches as well. I still like this pass catching options for the Buffalo Bills. Like I said, Josh Allen's going to have plenty of opportunities to sling the ball all over the field. You should see some big numbers from these guys. I'm excited for week 1 to see these guys play some football. And looking at the tight end position, Dalton Kincaid, right? I think he's going to be by far the number one guy playing football. I like what he does. This is going to be absolutely just stunning. I like what it is. I think that Dalton Kincaid could be the main guy as far as receptions go for this offense. I think he's going to look for him first, second, third down, fourth down, all over the field. Dalton Kincaid could be a smash play this week against the Cardinals. Guys, let's move right along to the next game, right? We're talking about the Tennessee Titans and the Chicago Bears. Again, we got some more storylines, right? Let's go ahead and start over here with the Titans. Got a kind of a new looking offense, right? Will Levis heading this, coming into his second year. Does he continue to develop? Does he continue to be the guy that we all think that he could be? I think so. I think we saw enough last year. It was a lot of good flashes of him being really, really good. He just got to put it together and be consistent, right? Consistency is king when it comes to fantasy football. I do like Will Levis as a sleeper quarterback this week as well against the Bears. I think it's gonna be really, really nice. Look at the running back position. We got Tony Pollard. We got Tajay Spears. Two running backs that who knows what's going to happen? What kind of workload are we looking at? Is it going to be a 50-50 split timeshare? I think it's going to be, one series is Pollard, one series is going to be Spears. It's going to be back and forth. There's going to be some times where you're getting frustrated. Who's who's going to be the man this week? We're all going to have to wait and see. We'll see what happens. I'm not sure what's going to go, but I think if I had to pick one, I'd probably go Tony Pollard. But I think the Bears defense is quite decent. They're not too shabby, so it's going to be kind of rough sledding on as far as the running backs go. But I think if I had to pick one, probably be Tony Pollard. I think he's going to be really good. But then if it could get into a negative game script, I think Tajay Spears could be the man there too. Just pass catching the ball all day. So overall, we don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. I'm excited to see this game, though. So, wide receivers, right? Calvin Ridley, DeAndre Hopkins. I know they got Tyler Boyd there as well, but the main two guys, right? Calvin Ridley, I think he's going to get a lot of targets. And DeAndre Hopkins, some people are kind of writing him off a little bit. He was injured. He's back. He's healthy. He should be playing this week. I think this could be really good. Levis can be slinging the ball all over the field. He's got two really good wide receivers. He has no excuses. Either Levis gets it done this year or he can't get it done. It is what it is. He has to develop, and he has to develop quickly. This Tennessee Titans defense is not very good. It's not very good. It is what it is, right? So we're going to have to wait and see. I think I like both of these guys this week. I like Calvin Ridley. I like DeAndre Hopkins. Both can get you, he can get the job done, right? Tyler says, Coach said it's going to be a 50-50 between Pollard and Spears as of yesterday, I believe. So flex is the best between those two running backs. Unfortunately, yeah, I agree, Tyler. It is what it is, though. It is what it is. And then talking about the tight end position, Chigakonkwo, he's really not targeted a ton by Will Levis, but again, a flyer tight end. If you really need a tight end to play, it's week 1. I'm hoping you don't need to play Chig this week, but if push comes to shove and you really went cock-a-doodle at the tight end position, Chigakonkwo could be your guy. We'll have to wait and see. Let's move right along here to the Bears position now. Bears, Caleb Williams. We all know about Caleb. He's the guy, right? He's like, oh, yo, I'm ready to rock and roll. I want to fight for your right. It is what it is. But Caleb Williams, he showed pretty good in the preseason, right? We have to see if he can continue to develop and to be the guy that we want him to be. And he's got a bunch of weapons, right? He's got a lot of opportunities. They filled this guy up with a no-fail type of opportunity. So if he's a good quarterback, he is going to succeed. No cap says, I think Pollard will be the lead rusher, and Spears will be mixing and probably used more in the passing game. Exactly, no cap. I'm right there with you, buddy. So the running back position for the Bears, right? DeAndre Swift. I like what I've seen from DeAndre Swift. I think he has a good opportunity. I think they're going to hand the ball off to DeAndre Swift and be worked in here a lot. I know Caleb Williams wants a lot of things on his shoulder, but the Bears' opportunities, I think they're just going to say, hey, look, I just want to protect Caleb Williams as much as I possibly can. And how do you do that? Well, you establish a run game, and I think DeAndre Swift's going to be the benefactor of that. He should have some good running room. He should have some good running room against this Tennessee team. Even though I think, it's not like the easiest go route, I believe, but I think he should be able to have plenty of opportunities to get you some good fantasy points. Start DeAndre Swift. He's a very good option for you this week. Then their wide receiver position. What are we going to see? DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Rome Odunze. A lot of options, right? I think this wide receiver core, if you have them in a redraft league, fantasy football, not best ball, if you have them in redraft, it could be a headache. Because each given week, you don't know which one's going to be fantasy football relevant. Who Hames? How you doing, buddy? Good to see you, man. But we don't know who's going to be relevant, right? Is it going to be DJ Moore today? Is it going to be Keenan Allen today? Is it going to be Rome Odunze today? We don't know. But I think the main guy at the end of the day is not going to be DJ Moore. Maybe a hot take here, but I think Keenan Allen will be the number one guy for this offense week in and week out. I think that's what it's going to be. In the tight end position, Cole Kmet. I think safety blankets are very, very real for rookie quarterbacks. Cole Kmet's already got a nice good link up there with Caleb Williams. I think that's going to be good. I think that's going to be solid with Cole Kmet. I think he's going to be a smash play today. I think he gets quite a few yards and maybe even get into the end zone. I like myself some Cole Kmet. So I know a few guys here. We're going to be doing it a couple times. Let me pop up the top 1,000 for the drafters, guys. So we're looking at our top 1,000. Number 22, Angry Elf. He's got 3 into the top 1,000. Bear Fan Pete, he's at number 36 is his highest entry right now. Jason Huron River Rat, he's got at 113. I have 3 in the top 1,000. My top right now is 160. Latumsky's got 3 in the top 1,000. His top is 198. Carl Ramrod has a 404 entry. Stadia TL has a 419 entry. And Big Disco Energy has 2 in the top 1,000. And his top one is at 555. So that's kind of what top 1,000. We'll go over that a couple times too, guys. So as you get into the top 1,000 each and every week, we will help and shout you out for getting into the top 1,000, and we'll see how this changes throughout the season and kind of work on that. So the next game we're going over is the Patriots and the Bengals. I think it's gonna be another one, right? Everybody wanted to see that Drake May. We know Drake May supposedly it came out today or yesterday that the coaching staff don't want to put Drake May in until they fix this offensive line opportunity. They don't want to set him up for failure. And I don't believe him. The very beginning of the Patriots schedule is pretty difficult. Why would you throw a rookie quarterback who you think has the wills to succeed and throw him in there behind a bad offensive line against all these good teams and just destroy his morale, make him like a Zach Wilson type of thing? So they don't want to do that. They're trying to protect the guy. But Jacoby Brissett will be getting the start here. I wouldn't say I would start him in fantasy football. I'm not looking forward to what he can do for fantasy football wise. I think as an NFL quarterback, he can get the job done. I think it's solid. I think it's fine. I like it. It's not a problem. But I think overall, not too bad. Jack, how you doing, buddy? Happy NFL Sunday. You guys hit the like button for me. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you guys for being here. And then Ramondre Stevenson, the running back. He should have fun. They're kind of running a new zone scheme. I think Gibson, I'm not sure. We'll look at the injury report here soon. Gibson may or may not be injured. I don't know. If he is, he probably will play. I don't know. We'll have to look and see what the updated injuries are. Like I said, once we get through all of the games and the breakdowns of the games, we're going to look at the injury report, and then we'll kind of see, what's what. We'll see what's what, right? And we'll see who's injured, what all the updates are. I'm going to try to keep you guys up to date on all the injuries and stuff for you guys to set the best possible week that you guys can. So, wide receiver position, I picked out 2. There could be a lot more in here that can go, whether it's KJ Osborne. I mean, any of these guys can happen. We don't know who's going to be the main pass catcher for this offense. I like Jalen Polk, and I want to see Javon Baker right now. I think Javon Baker's like the 4th wide receiver on the list, but I think he can do some things. I think that's who I'm watching this week. Jalen Polk could be the number 1 wide receiver for this offense, alongside with Javon Baker eventually. I'm really liking this. I think that can happen. But if you're wanting anybody who can catch the pass in week 1 for the Patriots, I'm looking at Hunter Henry. Hunter Henry should be just peppered with targets at this point. He's by far, I believe, as of right now, the best pass catcher on this football team and should have plenty of opportunities in PPR. Jacoby Brissett's not really a down the field type of guy, so we'll have to see. Polk over 29.5 feels good. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And I might even go over, guys. I have, I bet about $400 worth of picks in drafters as well. So if we get through all this stuff and rock and roll, we might do some drafts and things like that here in a minute. We can do some stuff like that for the morning for sure. Let me get through this. We're game 4. We have 14 games to go through. So next is the Bengals, right? Joe Burrow. I think Joe Burrow is a struggle. Joe Burrow, I would sit. If you have someone like a Jaden Daniels, I would start Jaden Daniels over Joe Burrow. It's just T. Higgins is doubtful. He's out. Looks like Jamar Chase will play. But will he be limited? Will he be limited? We don't know, right? Zach Moss, Chase Brown. A lot of people like that Chase Brown. Don't worry about the cockadoodle Chase Brown. Set and forget it. Put my stamp on it right now. Zach Moss is the guy. It's not Chase Brown. It's Zach Moss. I've been beating this drum all year, all off season long. You guys will see in week 1 what I'm talking about when Zach Moss is the man and Chase Brown isn't getting. He's not going to end the game with any stats that are relevant in fantasy football. I'm very, very highly. I think very highly of that. And then the wide receiver I want to talk about is Jermaine Burton, right? Jermaine Burton will get the opportunity. A lot of people are saying, oh, it's Yoshivas. Yoshivas is a decent wide receiver, but guess what? Jermaine Burton is a deep ball guy. And if they want to throw the football against this Patriots team, they're going to be throwing it deep. And it's going to be either Jamar Chase or Jermaine Burton, the wide receiver out of Alabama. Don't worry about Yoshivas. He'll be more of the PPR guy or half-point PPR, getting those little catches. But if you're looking for down-the-field home run hitters, Jermaine Burton could be the guy. Jerry, how you doing, guys? Smash that like button for me. I really appreciate you guys cruising on in here. Thank y'all so much for being here, hanging out with us for game day morning. Super excited about that. But again, I would pick Jermaine Burton over Yoshivas. That is my final stand on that. Next we're going over is going to be our CJ Stroud over there with the Texans taking on Anthony Richardson and the Colts. This is another going to be a high-powered type of offense and game. I'm excited to see this one, right? This is going to be some fireworks if you ask me, right? The Texans, CJ Stroud, he's got so many weapons right now to be fantasy liable for you. I think that he's going to throw the football all over the field. Doesn't matter who he throws to. He's throwing it to a guy that can catch the football. Whether it's going to be, Joe Mixon out of the backfield, or it's Nico Collins, Stephon Diggs, Tank Dell, could be Dalton Schultz. There's so many options here for him to have a really, really good time. You have a quarterback start sit question for you. Go ahead and throw it out there, guys. If you have start sits questions, throw them out there in the chat. I will get through them as we go through. So if you got questions, let me know. But yeah, Joe Mixon should be very, very involved. We saw what Devin Singletary was able to do last season. So I think that Joe Mixon is maybe it's a better version than Devin Singletary. So if Singletary was able to do that, what do you think Joe Mixon is going to be able to do? He's going to be heavily involved. They do have Dameon Pierce there as well. I just think it's going to work out. You know, Cam Akers came over. Cam Akers looking good. Does he get involvement? I'm looking to see forward to that. But overall, it's Joe Mixon backfield. Joe Mixon's going to be the guy, right? Wide receiver. It's Stephon Diggs, Nico Collins, and Tank Dell. There's 3 wide receivers that it's going to be pretty much a headache a week in and week out. If you are in a redraft league, you're not going to know who to start any given week. Nico Collins is probably your best bet. If you had a bet on any of these guys, I think he has the best connection with CJ Stroud. I think he can be the best fantasy relevant for you. And then Dalton Schultz, again, if you're needing a late round tight end or something, if you didn't go really heavy, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. If it didn't go really heavy, I don't know. I would stay with Dalton Schultz if you need to, but hopefully you have a better tight end position to do that. So Fields versus the Falcons or Caleb Williams versus the Titans. I think it's Caleb Williams versus the Titans, and I don't think it's close. I think Caleb Williams is going against a Titans defense that is worse in the secondary than Fields going against. And if Fields starts, which it looks like he will start, but I just don't like Justin Fields, man. He's very inaccurate. He's going to sling the ball up to George Pickens quite a bit. It's good, but you're looking probably at least the Falcons secondary isn't bad. You know, he probably easily throw an interception. He might take a couple sacks. You know, Caleb Williams has a bunch of weapons out there to throw the football to. Fields just has Pickens. Caleb Williams has everybody that we just went over, right? You've got Keenan Allen and DJ Moore, Romo Dunze, Cole Kmet, DeAndre Swift. I think it's easily Caleb Williams, man. Why would you guys start Jerry? Would you guys start Jerry Jeudy or Hunter Henry in the flex? Full PPR with 0.75 per reception for a tight end premium. I would start Hunter Henry. I think Hunter Henry is the main guy, whether it's tight end premium or not, man. I would start Hunter Henry. I think he will play this week. We're gonna go over the injuries here soon. If anything changes with Hunter Henry, we'll find out. I haven't looked at the injury news this morning. I'm just waiting for it to talk about it with you guys. But as of right now, I would definitely want Hunter Henry. I mean, at this point with Jerry Jeudy, you're trusting Deshaun Watson to be the man, right? So I just think Hunter Henry, they're going to be in a negative game script. They're going to be throwing the ball all over the field, and Hunter Henry should be the benefactor for that. And then you add on that for a tight end premium as well. I mean, it's just, I think it's a set it, forget it with Hunter Henry there, man. Is Henry healthy? Yep, we'll find out here in a minute. He's healthy and playing, practiced fully since Wednesday. Nice. So going over the Colts, right? So everybody's looking forward to the Colts, right? What Anthony Richardson can do, right? We saw him in limited game time. I mean, over 20 plus fantasy points per game, finished as the quarterback 2 couple times, the quarterback 3 or 4. He can get the job done. And I think that even though they're missing Josh Downs, Adonai Mitchell's going to come in and step in. Guys, I just bet on drafters. It's like 30, isn't it like 34 or 38 yards receiving for Adonai Mitchell right now? He's going to smash that. That is a smash bet on drafters right now, guys. Get over there and make those prop bets. You're going to win, man. You're going to absolutely win. And Jonathan Taylor, right? The run, play, action, pass with Jonathan Taylor should be absolutely phenomenal. What are you going to do on defense? Are you going to try to hone in on stack the box against Jonathan Taylor, or kind of wait for the run, play, action for Anthony Richardson to completely run it down your throat, or will you just throw it over the top? It's going to be a headache. It's almost like what you see with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry and that. I think the same thing's going to happen with this Colts offense. They're going to be popping on all cylinders. I'm not worried about anybody else besides that. It's going to be Pittman, Adonai Mitchell, and it's going to be Jonathan Taylor. That's it. Other than that, we're set it and forget it. Put Anthony Richardson. He's probably, I think he's my number 2 quarterback on the week. We'll go over my rankings here soon too. But I think he set it and forget it. I like what I see out of Anthony Richardson. Start this guy. Start him over everybody. Get it. You got it. Right. Next guy, we're going with Jacksonville Jaguars, and we're going over with the Miami Dolphins. Jacksonville, right? They paid the man. Lawrence is a newly rich man. Will he be able to live up to the hype, right? He was coming out of college, out of the University of Clemson, and they're like, he's the next Andrew Luck. He really hasn't lived up to that type of hype yet. He hasn't been a bad quarterback, but he hasn't been elite. This year is the year that he should be able to get to his elite status. Let's kind of go over some of his weapons. Travis Etienne, we know what he's going to do. Is Tank Bigsby going to take enough of this workload to decrease the fantasy relevance of Travis Etienne? They thought that was going to happen last year. It didn't happen last year. They say it's going to happen this year. It may not happen this year, but I do like Travis Etienne against this Dolphins. They're going to have to keep up, right? The Dolphins are going to score so many points against this secondary of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to get to this, man. Hold on, we're going to take, can y'all guys see my Grinchmas? This is my Grinchmas. Merry Grinchmas. I like my cup, guys. I like my cup. Don't hate. Wide receiver position. It was now known that Christian Kirk is now the 3rd wide receiver and will only be on the field in 3 wide receiver sets. The starters will be Brian Thomas Jr. and Gabe Davis. A little bit of a twist there. A lot of people are drafting Christian Kirk to be the number 1 wide receiver there. It looks like you're probably going to have Brian Thomas Jr. as the number 1 wide receiver, the main big body guy to go to. And then we got Gabe Davis on the other side. So Again, another drafters props, 3.5 receptions for Brian Thomas. Smash the over. I think it's a win-win situation. Brian Thomas Jr. should be able to show why he is what he is. I like that. Gabe Davis, again, he's just a little flyer there. I actually like Christian Kirk more than Gabe Davis, even though Christian Kirk is listed as the number 3 wide receiver. I just don't like Gabe Davis as much. I think he's a one-trick pony, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, Trevor Lawrence doesn't have an arm like Josh Allen does, so it is what it is, right? And then Evan Ingram, right? He gets most of the targets. He gets a ton of targets for this offense. I think that's going to continue this week. He's a top tight end for me again. This week, I think he's going to have peppered with a lot of targets, especially against this Dolphins team. They need people to step up. Evan Ingram could be one of those guys that does it. So Kirk went through the same thing last year, and it didn't matter because they used 11 personnel mostly. Exactly, who Hames. That's what I was saying, man. I mean, I still like Kirk more than Gabe Davis, even though he's listed as number 3. My biggest call of the week is the Dolphins less than 90 total yards rushing. Probably, Jerry. I mean, if I wouldn't be surprised at that, Jerry, because I think that they're going to just throw deep so much and be so proficient at the deep ball that they're not going to need to run the ball. Now, under 90 yards total, Achane could get 90 yards in one play. That dude's a beast, bro. But let's look at the Dolphins a little bit, right? Let's Tua Tagovailoa. I say never start Tua Tagovailoa in fantasy football. He's just not a very good fantasy football quarterback, in my opinion. He's not going to give you the points that you need week in and week out. You know, he may have a couple spike weeks, but he's not going to be consistent enough for you to want to start Tua, even with players like Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle on the other side. The reason for that is because sometimes they run the football like crazy, and Tua doesn't do anything. Even if he throws to Tyreek Hill for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns, you're not happy if your quarterback gets 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. So it's just not one of those things I look forward to. But I think it's going to be a good high-scoring game, and I think there's going to be a lot of points from Tyreek Hill. Clearly my number 1 guy this week. I think he's going to completely shred the Jacksonville Jaguars defense. And I don't think it's going to be close, man. I really don't think it's going to be close. It's going to be really good. So moving right along, we got the Carolina Panthers and the New Orleans Saints, guys. This is going to be a team, obviously, I'm going to be watching quite heavily because of my team, the Saints. But let's go over the Carolina Panthers first. You know, got Bryce Young. I think he's just completely cock-a-doodle. I don't think he's going to be able to mature whatsoever to be what we thought he was going to do. Now, there's a prop on drafters, 9.5 rushing yards per game, 9.5 rushing yards against the Saints. I think he's going to hit that. He averaged 15.8 yards per rush per game, I should say, last season. And in the 2 games that he played against the Saints, both went over 30 yards rushing. And I think he'll be able to hit that prop as well. Chuba Hubbard, you're going to get the start because Jonathan Brooks is not going to be starting here. Chuba Hubbard should get the bulk of these carries. But again, the Saints defense, number 6 last year in run defense. Not somebody I want to start running backs against. The Saints are very good against the run. They love to stop the run. And they only added to the linebacking core like Willie Gay. And then we got Chase Young. I just don't want any running room. I think there's going to be no running whatsoever done from the Panthers. I wouldn't be surprised if there's less than 40 yards rushing for this offense. I just think it's going to be that good, right? If I wanted to target somebody, it's going to be Deontay Johnson, right? Deontay Johnson should be getting a lot of targets. Adam Thielen last year was the guy who was getting in and out of breaks. Deontay Johnson's a better version, a faster version of Adam Thielen. I think that's going to be the most fantasy relevant piece you can get from this offense. And Xavier Legette, we don't know what's going to happen with Xavier Legette, right? So I'm curious to see how they utilize this guy, how he's going to be playing, and what's going to happen. I'm just really curious to see about that. So looking at the New Orleans Saints, right? This is going to be my team as well, right? Derek Carr coming into town. They got an offensive line that's absolutely putrid, right? I don't know if they've upgraded it very much. It didn't look like it in the preseason. So this should be a lot of dump offs to Alvin Kamara. Look for Alvin Kamara to really be involved a lot. Kendre Miller's injured. Jamal Williams I'm not really worried about anymore. You know, A.T. Perry might be out with a hand injury. We don't know. We're going to have to wait and see before game time if he's going to play or not. So it should be a lot of Derek Carr, right, going to Alvin Kamara. A lot of Derek Carr going to Chris Olave and deep to Rashid Shaheed. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it for this offense. Juwan Johnson, not somebody that I'm super excited about getting to play either. All these guys fantasy relevant though. Overall, I'm not targeting this game a lot for fantasy football. If I did, it'd be Deontay Johnson or Alvin Kamara. That'd be my 2 guys. Do you guys like Ramondre or Javonte better this week in full PPR? I would like Ramondre Stevenson. I like Ramondre Stevenson. I think Javonte, unfortunately, he's going to be sharing the workload with multiple backs, and Ramondre is going to get the bulk of his carries for sure. He'll get way more touches than Javonte, in my opinion. Move it right along. We got the Vikings and we got the Giants. Oh boy, this is going to be one. So there was a lot of talk about Sam Darnold being the guy And I thought he was going to be the guy the whole time, especially at the beginning of the season, maybe J.J. McCarthy taking over. But now that McCarthy's injured, it's Sam Darnold's team. And I think he's going to be having a good fantasy relevant team. I think a lot of people are going to be surprised, especially in best ball. Who took Sam Darnold? I think you'll be happy that you did. Aaron Jones should have a nice game against a Giants defense that struggled against the run last season. Didn't look like they upgraded him up enough to say, hey, they're going to be really good against the run this year. Aaron Jones should have a field day against this defense. I think it's going to be really, really nice. Ty Chandler, what are you going to get out of Ty Chandler? You know, that Ty Chandler could come in and do a little bit of workload. Is it going to be more of a 50-50 split? You really don't know. You really don't know what's going to happen. But I think it's going to be Aaron Jones' guy. It's going to be the whole team of Aaron Jones and just let him run. Oh, man, he could have a big game. He could have a really big game. I'm liking what he could do. Justin Jefferson, it doesn't matter who's the quarterback. He's going to get targeted. He's going to catch the ball. He's going to have good fantasy outings. It doesn't matter. We saw that last year after Kirk Cousins got injured. Justin Jefferson was still good. He was still fantasy relevant. So I like that, man. This will be a shocker game of the week. I predict a shootout. Dude, it could be. It could be. If Daniel Jones can come in and play what he can do. He has potential to play really well. And with Malik Neighbors on the other side, oh my gosh, y'all. Oh my gosh. Jordan Addison, somebody I would probably not start. I'm not crazy about Jordan Addison. I don't think Sam Darnold can have two wide receivers out there going crazy, but start at your own risk. And like we're saying with Daniel Jones, which Daniel Jones do we get? Do we get the Cockadoodle Jones, or we get the Daniel Jones that can go out there and really shoot the football down the field and target the crap out of Malik Neighbors? Gonna happen. Devin Singletary should be the main guy here. I don't think Tyrone Tracy's gonna take over that much workload from him. There should be a lot of workload for Devin Singletary. Should be a fine fantasy option for you. Wide receiver, I'm really thinking about just Malik Neighbors, right? Wanda Robinson would be the other guy. You know, I do like the Slaytons. You know, I'm not worried about Hyatt or anything like that. I think if you're looking for a wide receiver, it's got to be Malik Neighbors. I think his prop right now is like 64 yards or something like that. I think he smashes that over real easy for me. And then Theo Johnson. I don't think on the depth chart right now he's listed as the #1 tight end. I think Daniel Bellinger is actually listed as #1. But Theo Johnson's still running with the #1s. So, right, so if I had to pick a tight end from this offense, it'd be Theo Johnson. He could do something. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. Let's move right along to the next game, guys. We're talking about the Raiders and we're talking about the Chargers. So, the Raiders. Gardner Minshew ends up winning the quarterback position over here. Again, fantasy relevant? Not really. I'm not really trying to start Gardner Minshew whatsoever. The running back position. Let's see. Zamir White. A lot of people are high on Zamir White. I think it's going to be more of Zamir White / Pepperid, a little bit Alexander Madison and Dylan Laube. I think that I don't know. I can't see it with Zamir White. I can't see it. He ran really well last season after getting the ball. We'll have to wait and see. I will eat crow if Zamir White comes out here and crushes week in and week out. I'll eat crow, and I'll tell you guys I was completely wrong, but I just don't see it. I don't see it, man. Early in the week, Neighbors was at 39.9, 39.5. They fixed that. Yeah, I didn't get any of Neighbors at 39.5. I got Neighbors at, hold on, I can tell you real quick, because I got a little bit at what he's at now, but I also got him at something better than that too. Let me look that up real quick. Let's see. The cheapest I got Malik Neighbors was at 64.5. No. That's what it is now. I got Malik Neighbors at, I got him, the cheapest is 59.5. 59.5 is the cheapest I got him at. 39.5 is crazy, bro. Did you get any at 39.5? Because that's gonna be, that's outrageous, man. I wish I would have hit that one. I guess I didn't see that one, I guess. And then the wide receiver position, right? Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers. I think both these guys could be fantasy relevant for you week in and week out. Good wide receivers. I think they're a good start against this Chargers defense. Brock Bowers, Michael Mayer. What's going to be split here, right? Are they going to run a lot of 2 tight end sets? We'll have to see. What can the rookie tight end Brock Bowers bring us? I think it's going to be exciting. If you don't have to start either one of these guys, I would say don't start them this week. Just kind of wait and see how they're gonna rock and roll with that. Early in the week, I'll see. I had some Buck lost these bets with Wicks 3 drops. Oh yeah, that was one catch. I needed 25 yards with Travis Kelce to win 10K. Didn't win it, but we got some big ones this week for me to win 10K. We can go over it if I get through these games. And then on the Charger side, right? Justin Herbert coming in here. He should be, relatively healthy from his plantar fasciitis. Gus Edwards, I think he's going to be the back you want to look at. J.K. Dobbins could do something, but what's going to be the workload? Is it going to be mostly Gus? Is it going to be a 50-50 share split? We don't know. We're going to have to wait and see after week 1 and see what happens here. And we know DJ Chark, he's on IR. He's out for the first 4 weeks of the season. Joshua Palmer should be the number 1 guy with Ladd McConkey and Quentin Johnson. I do like Quentin Johnson's prop this week. It's 23.5 yards of receiving, I believe, for Quentin Johnson. But they didn't update that after DJ Chark got injured. I think Quentin's gonna get over 24 yards receiving. So I have him on a prop as well. I think he scores good for you. Let's keep moving right along, guys. We got Bo Nix against Geno Smith. We got the Broncos going against the Seattle Seahawks. Against Bo Nix, right? He looked really good in preseason, really good and accurate. I think the biggest thing for him is not to get too excited, right? I know it's his first NFL game, but keep doing what he was doing to make him have success. He's got Sean Payton, who can really dink and dunk quite a bit. He did that a lot with Drew Brees. So let's see what Bo Nix can do. He's got Cortland Sutton he needs to be able to link up with and really, really build that connection with the guy. And then just Troy Franklin coming here. We don't even know. I didn't even put him on my list because I don't think Troy Franklin's going to get a lot of opportunities. But sneaky play, Josh Reynolds. Josh Reynolds could be a sneaky play this week. Start the running back position. Javonte Williams is the running back I would start if I had to pick one, but you have Jaleel McLaughlin, you've got Estime, you've got a lot of running backs here that's going to get some touches in this backfield. It's not going to be just Javonte Williams. So somebody that, I'm not crazy about starting, but if I had to start one, Javonte would be it. And then Greg Dulcich, I'm not excited about starting this guy either. I think Greg Dulcich overall could have a good fantasy game, but they're working in Adam Troutman and stuff like that. This is something I would kind of stay away from, but I do like Bo Nix. I don't know what his prop is. I think it's like 200 yards or something like that. I think he can easily clear over 200 yards for Bo Nix this week against the Seattle Seahawks defense. So I think they're being a negative game script. They're going to need to throw the football. All right, let's go look at the Seattle Seahawks. About Geno Smith, right? Does he continue to be really well and to be able to provide a lot of options? We know Tyler Lockett is now going to be playing. He is probable for the game. He was kind of questionable. Didn't know if he was going to play or not. So it is what it is. 200 total with 224 with rushing. I wouldn't do the 224 with rushing. I wouldn't do that, but I would do the 200 total. I would do the 200 passing. Kenneth Walker, I think he's going to have an absolute field day. Kenneth Walker is a smash running back play this week, going against a Broncos defense who was heavily just did not do well against the pass, and they lost Justin Simmons as well. I think Kenneth Walker is a solid start for you this week. He's one of my favorite running backs of the week. We got DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. All three of these wide receivers I do like. I think they're going to be able to go out there and just have their day. Yes, they do have Patrick Surtain, who should be lined up against DK Metcalf quite a bit. Could be good for Tyler Lockett. Could have some boom plays. If you end up having Tyler Lockett in like a best ball, I think it could be really good for you. And then Noah Fant. I don't know what the I don't know if he's still. I have to look at the injury report, see if Noah Fant is still. I think he's playing. I have to look at that. I think he was injured in preseason, but I think he should be good to go. Again, we'll look at the injury report and see what happens. But that's that game right there. Let's move right along here to Cowboys and the Browns. Another game, right? They got the job done with CeeDee Lamb. He's got his contract. He's rocking and rolling. Dak Prescott should go out there and be slinging the ball all over the field. The Browns defense is very, very good. Very good. So that's why I don't have CeeDee Lamb as a top flight guy in my rankings. And we'll go over those here in a minute. But looking at Dak Prescott, he's going to get the job done, right? He throws the football so much, he's going to be fantasy relevant for you. He's going to provide a bunch of fantasy points for you. I think he's still a good start in a game that should be a little bit of a back and forth game. That he's going to need to throw the football because look at the running backs. You got Ezekiel Elliott, Rico Dowdle. They're not going to be able to run the football against this Browns defense. It's not going to happen. Dak Prescott's going to be the way that they're going to move the football up and down the field. So I think he's going to be good and fantasy relevant. And that means CeeDee Lamb should be fantasy relevant. Brandon Cooks could also be fantasy relevant for you as well. He could catch some of those strikes for you. But CeeDee Lamb is definitely the guy we want here. He's going to be, he's going to be blanketed a lot by some of these top corners here. We'll see what happens. I think he's good enough, though, to get open and get at least some. I don't think he's going to have no boom game for you, but I think he's still going to be fantasy viable for you. Obviously, it's CeeDee Lamb. And then Jake Ferguson, right? It's the guy that we want to talk about at the tight end position. I think he's another tight end we could see have decent props, right? For the problem is that with the Browns just scare me. I'm not going to lie to you. They're a very good defense. They're a top-rate defense, right? And even though you got a top-rated offense with Dak Prescott just throwing the football on the field, one of these are going to have to give. One's not going to be good. One's going to be good. We're going to have to find out which one it is. But Jake Ferguson, I think he's just fine for you to start. this week. What are you going to get out of Deshaun Watson in the Browns, right? Is he going to be cock-a-doodle and worry about his massages, or is he going to be out there playing the way he wants to play? We'll see. He's got some new weapons with Jerry Jeudy coming to town. And then we know Nick Chubb isn't going to be playing, so Jerome Ford at the running back position. He should be a fine start against the Dallas defense that's probably going to freaking come out and crush somebody. So I think he'll still be good, though. I think he'll be catching the football, not running the football. I don't think there's going to be much running room here against the Dallas defense. And then David Njoku. What's the storyline with this guy, right? Is he going to be out there slinging the football? I don't know, catching it like he was catching it last year against Flacco. What's going to happen? Is Deshaun Watson, did he learn enough to where he can say, hey, look, I see that I see that what Flacco did. Why can't I do the same thing? Why can't I do the same thing? And I'm hoping that that's the case. If that's the case, you're going to have a smash play from David Njoku. I think it's going to be an absolute smash. Absolute smash. If not, David Njoku is going to be hurting. And that's going to suck. That's going to absolutely suck. So, there's that. Let's move on to the next game. We got the Washington Commanders against the Buccaneers. This is going to be a game that the Buccaneers are favored. But I think Jaden Daniels is that guy. I really do think he's that guy. And I think he's going to be very, very good. He doesn't have a lot of wide receiver options. We got Olamide Zaccheaus over there as the wide receiver number 2. Could he be fantasy relevant? Probably not in this game. I like Terry McLaurin the most. I think he's going to hyper target Terry McLaurin. I think it's going to be really, really good. Brian Robinson Jr., Austin Eckler. How's this workload going to be split? I think it's mostly going to be Brian Robinson Jr. with a little bit of Austin Eckler in there, some passing down games. If the game is close and they're losing in the fourth quarter, you could probably see more Austin Eckler than Brian Robinson. But yeah, I think the pass catching ability for Austin Eckler is going to keep him in the game quite a bit. Jaden Daniels, Terry McLaurin, and then Zach Ertz, right? Zach Ertz in week 1 could be one of the biggest sleepers in all of week 1. I think Zach Ertz, people forget about how good this guy is with Cliff Kingsbury. He loves this guy, loves to get him targets. And I think Jaden Daniels can definitely do that. So looking over here at the Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield, right? Does he keep on with the magic, right? Does he keep throwing the ball down to Mike Evans? Does Mike Evans keep coming down with it, right? He's got Chris Godwin out there and Jalen McMillan, a new toy there from Washington. Could be good. I'm not worried about K. Dotton. Don't start that guy. I think it's cock-a-doodle. I ain't worried about him. And then the running back position, right? Rashad White. He's a running back that could be relevant, right? There's nobody in there, right? But they brought in Bucky Irving out of Oregon. I don't think he's going to be taking over a much workload. Rashad White should have his way against a Washington Commanders defense that can't catch anything. They can't catch anything, guys. Sorry about that. All right, let's move right along, guys. We have 2 games left before we start getting into some rankings and stuff. So we got the Rams and the Lions, guys. This is her Sunday night football. Matthew Stafford, right? What does he provide? I think he's a good fantasy quarterback. He's a good quarterback. This is his last year. He wants to come out there and sling the football. What better yet to do it against his old team, the Lions, right? So we'll see. It's Jared Goff versus Matthew Stafford. They flip-flop their quarterbacks. They've already had this matchup before. I think it should be really good. Kyron Williams and Blake Corum. How much does Blake Corum work into Kyron Williams' workload? We're going to have to wait and see on that one. We're going to have to wait and see how much of that workload comes in. And then Kyron Williams, does he I don't think he'll get the 20-plus carries. He's used to getting like 20-plus carries, 15, 20-plus. I don't think that's going to happen this season or in this week. And then at the wide receiver position, right? Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua. There's going to be regression for Puka Nacua. I told you guys. I think they're both good wide receivers, but I think you're going to see this game that Cooper Kupp will be the dominant number 1 wide receiver again over Puka Nacua. That is my prediction right there. And then the Lions, we got Jared Goff coming in here, very capable quarterback with 2 running backs behind him. Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, both can get the job done. The problem is that neither one of them is a prolific start because of the workload split. If I had to pick one, unfortunately, I'm picking David Montgomery over Jahmyr Gibbs. Yes, Gibbs is more of the flashy guy, but until I see them giving more of Gibbs a workload than Montgomery, I'm going to have to go with Montgomery because he gets all the goal line work. So I love seeing that. Wide receiver, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams. Amon-Ra is probably the biggest set it and forget it guy of fantasy football. The dude has such a high floor. I love what I see from Amon-Ra St. Brown. And then Sam Laporta, right? We showed as a rookie last season that he can get the job done. And I think Jared Goff likes to target this guy quite a bit. I think it could be fireworks for you. I'm starting pretty much every guy on this entire game. I think all these guys can be fantasy relevant. I think it's gonna be a good high scoring game. I think it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice. Let's go over the last game we got going on here, and that's gonna be our Monday Night Football game. The Jets taking on the 49ers. 2 stud defenses going back and forth. Will any of these offenses kind of break through, right? So the Jets, Aaron Rodgers coming back from that injury. people are very, impressed with what Aaron Rodgers was able to do so far. I think it's pretty interesting. I think it's going to be pretty interesting. Aaron Rodgers, I think he's going to get the job done with a lot of Garrett Wilson. Mike Williams will be playing, but they said he will be limited, right? So I would not have Mike Williams in your lineups. Get Mike Williams out your lineups. Focus on that Garrett Wilson call. I think that's solid. Tyler Conklin at the tight end position. I think Conklin's probably one of the better options that you can go with when you want like a sleeper or a late round tight end. I just think that he's going to target the tight end position quite a bit, and I think he's going to get the job done. Now, Breece Hall, this is another one of those guys that I think overall, I see that him being easily top 3. I wouldn't be surprised if he's a top 3 running back at the end of all said and done. I think that I think he can do it. I think he can do it against this 49ers defense. I think he's going to have a better game than what people think. I think because they're going to be throwing the ball so much, I think they're not going to be able to stack the box against Breece Hall. I think he's going to surprise some people this week against the 49ers, which is crazy to say. But look at the 49ers. I think they're going to struggle more than the Jets, and I actually think the Jets could win this game because the Jets defense they're legit. They're for real, right? And so Brock Purdy, he's got a plethora of his wide receivers. Brandon Ayuk should be limited. He's not going to get a full workload, I don't think. Breece is going to eat this week, Hames. That's what I'm saying. You got some breaking news. Jerry, break it with me, buddy. Break it live. What you got? Christian McCaffrey is going to be, I think he's going to be good no matter what. You always start Christian McCaffrey. You never bench the guy. Deebo Samuel could have himself a day unless Sauce Gardner is targeting Deebo Samuel. Maybe late to the party. Have you heard about Tyreek? No. What about Tyreek Hill? I haven't heard anything about Tyreek Hill. So just let me know what you got. If you got any information, let the stream know. I'd really appreciate that. Arrested outside the stadium? What? Tyreek Hill arrested? No way. For what? For a driving violation? But he's still okay. Adam Schefter said Tyreek Hill will still play. He was arrested this morning on the way to the Dolphins game, but he will play. He's still going to play. He's still going to play. Adam Schefter reported that it was a driving violation. He was just detained. He wasn't arrested. He was detained just partially for a driving violation, but Hill will play today. So we're good. I heard Rasheed was with him. Yeah, might have been racing for sure. That's good. I appreciate that update though, Jerry, man. That's good, man. That's good. Appreciate that. And then George Kittle's another guy that we want to look at as well. So let's kind of break down some of our rankings, guys. And this is these rankings are gonna include before the game. I put these out Monday and Tuesday, right? Monday and Tuesday. So they're gonna include some of the guys that played on Thursday and Thursday and Friday, right? So right now our quarterbacks, right? I have Josh Allen as the number 1 quarterback going against Arizona. Like we're going over earlier, I think he's going to just destroy Arizona whatsoever. Going to smash. I like that. Anthony Richardson, my number 2, going against Houston. A.T. Perry update. I don't have an update on him yet. He's got that hand injury. He didn't practice Thursday or Friday. If I had to guess right now, he's probably not going to play. So I don't think he's going to play Bones this week. But we'll have to wait and see for a final decision. He didn't practice Thursday or Friday, which makes me believe he's not going to play. Anthony Richardson, my number 2 quarterback, going against Houston. I think it's going to be a shootout. Jalen Hurts was my number 3. I think that worked out pretty well. CJ Stroud going against Indianapolis is number 4. Lamar Jackson taking on Kansas City. I've got him. I had him as my number 5. He ended up freaking lighting it up. I love it. Patrick Mahomes against Baltimore. He was number 6. I think that worked out well. Lamar being better than Patrick Mahomes and Jordan Love. He did okay. He wasn't like terrible, but he wasn't the best. Jaden Daniels against Tampa. I think Kyler against Buffalo and Joe Burrow against New England. I had him as my number 10. But I would probably drop Joe Burrow. That was before T. Higgins was doubtful. And what I might do is starting, the following stream is I'll probably start doing my rankings based on just the Sunday games instead of including it for the Thursday and stuff like that. Because right now I wanted my rankings to be the same as my video. You know what I mean? Finishes top 5 for sure, you think? Bro, I don't know. I'm not that big on him. I'm not that big on Fields, man. Could be though. Could be though. He has some boom games. Running backs. Christian McCaffrey. The New York Jets. I got him as number 1. You got to have him at number 1. He has an opportunity of always killing it. I had Saquon Barkley as my number 2 running back. How do you guys think that went, guys? How'd that go? How did that go? I think that went pretty good. Bijan Robinson against Pittsburgh, my number 3. I think he's going to get a lot of passing work. Travis Etienne, Breece Hall against San Francisco. Derrick Henry against Kansas City. Man, Derrick Henry really failed me, man. He failed me. Jonathan Taylor against Houston. Rashad White against Washington. Kenneth Walker against Denver. I think he's going to eat. I think Kyron Williams against Detroit. That's my top 10 running backs for this week. Let's look at the wide receiver position. I got Tyreek Hill, a.k.a. Mr. I got arrested outside the stadium. At number 1. Amon-Ra St. Brown at 2. Justin Jefferson at number 3. A.J. Brown against Green Bay at 4. He did really well. CeeDee Lamb at 5. We got Jamar Chase against New England. Mike Evans against Washington should do really well. I like Garrett Wilson against San Francisco. Chris Olave against Carolina. And Devontae Adams against the Chargers. Against the Chargers. And then let's go over our tight end position real quick. Sam Laporta. I've got him as my number 1 tight end against the Rams. Travis Kelce against Baltimore. Mark Andrews. What do I got to say, man? What I got to say about Mark Andrews, bro? I don't know, man. Mark Andrews just wasn't involved enough. Maybe it was a week 1 thing. They're working him in. I know they said Isaiah Likely was really going to be the guy. Sheesh, man. Isaiah Likely looked good, though. He looked good, y'all. Trey McBride, number 4. Evan Ingram against Miami. Well, one of those tight ends did eat. Oh, yeah. Facts. I just thought it was going to be Mark Andrews. Kyle Pitts at 7. George Kittle 8. Ferguson at 9. And Pat Freiermuth at 10. I think Freiermuth ends up this week as a top 10 tight end against Atlanta, guys. So let's go over the injury report, guys, and let's see what we got over there. All right, guys, we got pulled up the quarterbacks going on right now. Just looking at some of this, Tannehill looking for an opportunity. We're not really worried about that. Justin Fields likely to start behind center against week 1. Again, they are going to be looking at Wilson and seeing if his calf is going to be doing good preseason. Likely will be a consistent contributor, but Andrew will get his. Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure, I do think so, too. They pulled Andrews in a ton of block, but Kansas D-line dominated the O-line bad. Oh, I agree. Fields will probably start, to be honest with you. I don't know why they would rush Russell Wilson back. And again, guys, I'm using Fantasy Pros. If you guys ever want anything to do with Fantasy Pros, I got a bunch of links in the description below where you guys can go check it out. What the? I gotta fix it. Hold on, let me fix this green screen. What's going on with my green screen? We can't do this. We can't. No, sir. No, sir, we can't be fading out like that. I gotta fix that. All right. Yeah, and then Russell Wilson. Anything else we want to look at? Jordan Love to miss time on the MCL, guys. I've seen everybody on Twitter talking about ACL. The first thing I posted out there, man. I got the timeline on there. I said it looks like more like an MCL than an ACL to me. Boom. Done. Go figure. Like I know what I'm talking about. Anything else? Nothing else. Let's look at their running backs. Antonio Gibson, there we go. Antonio Gibson plans to play week 1 against the Bengals with the hip game. Okay. Now, Christian McCaffrey listed as questionable for week 1, but he will play. He's gonna play. We got Colton White over here. Yo, who would you start in the flex? Deontay Johnson, Tajay Spears, Pollard, or Josh Palmer? I think it's Deontay Johnson. It's not even close. Well, it's close. Between Deontay Johnson and Josh Palmer. I would not put Tajay or Pollard because of their splitting the workload. I think Deontay Johnson's going to get hyper-targeted. You know what? I changed my answer. I would start Josh Palmer. With DJ Chark being on IR, I think Palmer's going to get more opportunity, and I love the secondary for the Saints. And I think I think Josh Palmer would probably get more. I would go Josh Palmer, Colton. Guys, smash the like button for me, too. I really appreciate it. All right, Myles Gaskin, not worried about him. Kenneth Gainwell, Saquon Barkley. Okay, we're not worried about that. Let's look at these wide receivers. See injury report here. Tyler Lockett expected to play week 1 against the Broncos. Right? That's what I was telling you guys earlier. He is going to be playing. I think it's going to be good too because Patrick Surtain should be locked up on DK Metcalf, which should open up Tyler Lockett for a lot of those things. You're welcome, Colton, man. Thank you for being here, man. Thank you for smashing the like button for me, man. Appreciate you hanging out, buddy. Thank you, man. Brandon Ayuk to receiver reduced workload week 1. I was just saying that. And we were talking right here. DJ Chark placed on IR. Robbie Chosen elevated to the Dolphins active roster probably because I'm assuming that OBJ might not be ready. Keenan Allen expected to play week 1. I think he could be the number 1 wide receiver for them this week. Jamar Chase listed as questionable for an illness, but I think he's going to play. I think he'll play. CeeDee Lamb activated from the exempt list will play. Okay. I think he'll be fine. And that's it for that. Let's look at any tight end news. This is the big one right here. Ian Thomas placed on IR, which means Jatavian Sanders should get the start this week because also the other tight end, Tommy Tremble, is also missing games. Look for rookie Jatavian Sanders really to make his debut and to be the guy over there. Again, I'm not worried about any of those guys. I mean, Bryce Young, not too happy with the guy. Not too happy with him. Dallas Goedert catches 4 balls, blah, 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 blah. All right, let's go over some stuff, guys. Let me show y'all my big one. If you guys want to win some money, again, what I'll show you guys is my opinion, and my opinion only. I am not responsible for anything that you lose. Bet at your own risk. Don't come at me sideways. Don't come at me sideways. But look, I put $100 on this, guys. Brian Thomas Jr. over 3.5 receptions. Brian Thomas Jr. over 3.5. I like it. I like it a lot. He's now the starter. Listed as a starter. Should be the number 1 guy. He should get at least 4 catches. Najee Harris over 52.5 rushing yards. Smash that. Smash that. They're going to hand the ball off to him a lot. They're going to feed the crap out of him. 52 yards. Solid. Adonai Mitchell. 34.5 receiving yards with Josh Downs being out. Yes. Yes, please. I'll take that all day. Malik Neighbors over 64.5 now. We were just told who Hames was talking about was at 39.5 earlier. Or, earlier in the week. Should have smashed that, but I didn't get a chance to. 64.5 for Malik Neighbors. Amon-Ra St. Brown over 84.5 receiving yards. I think that's a smash. Absolute smash. Quentin Johnson with DJ Chark being out, getting more opportunity. He should at least get 24 yards receiving. Alvin Kamara, 28.5 yards receiving. I think Derek Carr's going to dump the crap out of it. Dump the ball off. All Alvin Kamara. And then Blake Grupe, over 1.5. He's going to get 2 field goals against the Carolina Panthers. They're not going to be scoring touchdowns like that, I don't think. A lot of field goals. That's what the Saints do. Those are my picks right there. Those are my main picks right here. I got a lot of picks in here. But we're rocking and rolling. Let's look at the top 1,000 again, guys, for those who missed it. In the top 1,000 for the $15 games, guys. $15 games, Angry Elf. Number 22 is his highest. Right, he's got 3 in the top 1,000. You got to love it. Bear Fan Pete, number 36 in the tournament right now. You got Huron River Rat, Jason, number 113 in the tournament right now. As just for the first 2 games. I have 3 in the top 1,000. My highest right now is 160. Latumsky's got 3 in the top 1,000. He's at number 198. He's got Carl Ramrod at number 404. Stat ATL 419. And Big Disco Energy, he's got 2 in the top 1,000 at 555. I got a recommendation going into next week. What's going on, buddy? What's up, Who Hames? What's the recommendation? All right, we might do some splash drafts too. How many do we got? We've got 2 entries into this one. 18 into this one. We could do that. What's your recommendation? All right, let's do a couple of these splash drafts. See what happens. If you guys want to jump in here with me, go ahead. Look at the top 1K based on only week 1 stuff. So before Thursday, I know Wait, I know it's not possible. Not sure what your plan was. Yeah, my plan was, so for this is only for this week. So starting next week, they'll have all week 1 stuff. I won't well, no, I can't do that. I'm gonna have to update it. So I have to add all the Thursday games in. But because after the Thursday, the rankings are gonna be different. So unless I do the rankings, and then if I don't include the Thursday games, if I don't include the Thursday games, then what I show on stream will be different than what it is. You know what I mean? I only do it now because I mean, why not? You know, there was only 2 games picked in rock and roll. But if I did it like only week 1, if I showed week 2 only week 1, and then it's kind of like, well, if I show it on Sunday, then what I show is going to be different than what they go look at. You know what I mean? But we could do after week 1, after week 2, or I could just add everything up. We'll see. I thought about that, Who Hames. But again, there will be no stream next week, guys. There will be no Sunday stream next week. I'll be on vacation. So the next time I'll be live will be, well, I might do some live. Well, no. Unless I go live Monday or Tuesday or something like that. But the next time I'll be live will be week 3. Will be week 3 because I'll be on vacation. But we are doing a splash draft. So if anybody wants to get into a splash draft, just join me. I need one more person in here. No contract for Chase. But Chase should still play, though. Chase should still play. I think he'll play. I didn't think there was going to be a contract, to be honest with you. He wants too much dang money. He wants too much money, man. Oh, no. I know. All right, it should be fixed now. Man, nope, it's all over the place. Man, okay, I think it's better. I think it's better now. It's evening out now. It's crazy, man. I'll have these lag spikes. It's so crazy, dude. Oh, give me that Tyreek Hill. Give me that Tyreek Hill action. I'll take that all day. I will take this all day long, fellers. All day. All day. You got nothing on my internet. Oh, I know, bro. I know. I understand, sir. We just gonna tag up some of these guys who we're kind of interested in, and then we'll see how everything falls, and then we'll go from there. We'll just see how it all falls, and we'll go from there. God dang. Who all we want to add in here, man? We got some options, you know? We got options. We got options. We're just tagging people up as it goes through. Oh, who we got? We got a lot of Alvin Kamara because I think Alvin Kamara is going to be a beast. I got to take that. I got to take that. And you know we're going Jamar Chase because I don't care. I think it's fine. I think it's fine. Every once in a while, I'll be having these spikes, man. I don't get it. So, Tyler, talk to me, man. We got 2 hours until game time. Are you going to your dad's house or no? I'm fading Bijan this week. It would be a bad fade. They're going against the Steelers defense. He's one of my top guys. I think he's getting a lot of work in the pass game, though, which is going to keep him fantasy relevant. I think it'll keep him fantasy relevant for sure. There goes Laporta. What we got here? You know, I might just go AR. I might just grab AR here. There's no need not to. No reason not to. We'll go Richardson. We'll go AR, Alvin Kamara, Tyreek, and Jamar Chase. I'm gonna go ahead and get my tight end that I like, which is Evan Ingram. We'll just lock him down. That's fine. I like some receivers later, and I might actually do. I might even do some Adonai Mitchell later too. So we need. What do we need here? Right? One of them. One of the only unders I'm taking is Bijan under 64 rushing. Yeah, I think he could do under 64 for sure. And I wouldn't touch the reception under with him. I'm with you. I want to get Kenneth Walker here as my other running back. And then we need to get. You could do Adonai Mitchell with one of those. We'll get rid of this. We'll get rid of this and this. I want Kenneth Walker. But we can do, and then we need one receiver with him. Oh, they took Kenneth Walker, huh? Well, I guess we'll take Rashad White next. We'll take Rashad White since they took Kenneth Walker. Adonai Mitchell will be my last one, and I need one of these guys. You know what? I think I'll go Mike Evans. I'll go Mike Evans and then Adonai Mitchell. I think the Anthony Richardson and Adonai Mitchell combo is gonna be killer this week, man. I think it's gonna be killer. Mike Evans, and then we'll take Adonai Mitchell. Yep, I think that's gonna be a good lineup. AR, Alvin Kamara, Rashad White, Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase, Mike Evans, Evan Ingram, and then Adonai Mitchell. A lot of people when they're taking this Anthony Richardson pick, they're taking a lot of Michael Pittman. I think that's the wrong play. I think Adonai Mitchell's the play. I think he is the play. Nope, I can do everything on my phone for the 1 p.m. games. Are we going to be on Discord together, bro? Are we going to be on Discord together, Tyler? Tell me. Tell me. Noah Fant is a sleeper pick too. Denver was one of the worst leagues in tight ends last year. Oh yeah, Noah Fant would be good too, for sure. I think Pat Freiermuth could be a good one, a good late one. You know what I mean? Do you do any of these weekly drafts? Who, Hames? Tyler, you can still do Discord from your phone, right? So we can still talk? I'm pretty sure. Discord or just a phone call? Oh, yeah, either way. Well, Discord's better. Then I don't have to have my phone up. I can have my Discord on my computer. Adonai Mitchell. Look at that. Let's draft some guys. There might be some overlay on this one, huh? They've got 2 hours left, and they still got to have 400 entries. So let's do some splashes. Let's do some splashes, guys. Because the top 335 wins. We'll see. Okay, we got some new people here. And we got Tyreek Hill. We're going Tyreek. I got so much Tyreek Hill. That's happening. I think I've done 3 of them here. I have some on Underdog. I have a bit of A-Rich myself. Dude, I'm telling you guys. Telling you. I am telling you guys. Oh, and those of you guys who are just watching, if you're not a part of Drafters, get over here on Drafters, guys. Use code BuyUBingo. Match you dollar for dollar for your first deposit up to $100. It's free money. Come over here and join us. Let's go ahead and have some fun. Let's go ahead and play. We're cool with that. We're cool with that. I tapped out my account on Drafters now. Just a waiting game. Got you. Yeah, I bet another $400 today on props. I bet $500 Thursday. I bet $400 today. Thought I was so close. I was so close to winning 10K. Give me my Tyreek Hill. I got so much Alvin Kamara, y'all. Jeez, man. I got so much. Let's see who falls to me though. We could maybe throw some shares of Pickens in there if we needed to. Let's see what comes down to us. I actually really like the Baker with Evans. Yeah, that's not too bad. That's not bad at all. If I'm getting quarterback, it's either going to be Josh Allen this week. I have Josh Allen. I have a couple CJ Strouds, Anthony Richardson, or Jaden Daniels. I'm kind of leaning on those guys for my weeklies. Also feel like Javonte has upside smash potential. It depends on his workload, right? If they don't want to give him the ball, like being the main guy, it's gonna be frustrating, you know. If they give Estimate gets the goal line carry, and then McLaughlin gets a whole series here, it's just gonna be frustrating. It's gonna be frustrating. This guy got CeeDee Lamb and Justin Jefferson. Wow, way to just hand out everything. So let's just go. I might be able to get Laporta back. So let's just do this. This is the same team we built last time. So we can't go AR. We need to try to go a different team. Because we got the same 3 last time. Remind me if anyone is on the morning from the expo. Is on this morning from the expo. From the expo? I don't think so. Not that I know of. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know. I haven't checked and see if anyone's live. I don't know. I don't really look at that stuff, man. Don't forget Taysom Hill is still a tight end. Yeah, but is he gonna get enough workload to beat out somebody else that is it gonna be him or like Terry McLaurin, you know? It'd be hard. Wow. Anyway, Tyler. Tyler, you hanging out with me. What you worry about somebody else for? CJ Stroud's gone. Allen's gone. We're good. I think we're solid on Jaden Daniels. So I think a lot of people aren't taking the Jaden Daniels. I just think he's going to do really well this week. There goes Devontae. If I got 2 picks, we can go. I might grab these 2 guys. We can go Nico Collins and Evan Ingram. Okay, we can do that. We can do that. He go against Laporta, Ingram, Pitts, not flex. I think he reports of Taysom just being RB2 are legit. Oh, are you okay? I mean, still, do you think Taysom Hill's gonna beat out Laporta, Ingram, or Pitts? I mean, I don't. It just depends. It's so I don't know. It's so volatile, you know. Don't worry about nobody else, Tyler, man. Don't worry about them. Worry about me. Let's see. So I do want to get my. So all I need is a running back now. Swift could be cool to have. I don't have any Swift. Oh, Aaron Jones. Let's do Kenneth Walker. Terry McLaurin. And we'll grab Jaden. Let's do that. Alvin Kamara, Kenneth Walker, Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase, Nico Collins, Evan Ingram, Terry McLaurin, and Jaden Daniels. Ooh, that could be a killer lineup, guys. That could be killer. We'll probably end the stream after this one, guys. We'll rock and roll. I want to wish everybody an awesome week 1, man. Appreciate you guys being here for the very first day. Again, we will not be here next Sunday because I will be on vacation. I'll be in Florida. We'll be back live again week 3. I think Taysom has elite upside and he's free. Trying to beat 1K people with Taysom 20-point game happened 5 times last year. Oh, I get it. 100% get it. And I agree with you. Highly agree with you. It's a higher variance way to play for sure. Really like that team. Oh, yeah. Let's smash it. This is my last weekly of the week. This is going to be killer. Bang. Jaden Daniels, Alvin Kamara, Kenneth Walker, Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase, Nico Collins, Evan Ingram, Terry McLaurin. Hello? Hello? That win you money right there. But guys, again, like I said, we're not going to be here live week 2. We will be live back on week 3 because I'll be on vacation next week. But I appreciate each and every one of you guys for being here. I hope you guys have an amazing week 1. Thank you guys so much for being here for an hour and a half with me, hanging out, talking some football. Good luck this week, guys. Go smash out. Hope you guys win. We'll see you guys again on week 3. We'll see you guys then.
Tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away.